You've done the work, you've put in the time, and now you need to get paid. Whether it's a basic payment, a prepayment, or an adjustment or write-off, you'll find it's easy to take care of in TPS Cloud Axis. Keep in mind that this is just a quick overview, but if you're wanting specific info on payments, prepayments, and adjustments, you'll find short instructional videos that go over each of those processes and procedures right here in this drop-down menu. Right now we're covering just the overview. So let's go over the payment screen as I take you through doing a regular basic payment. First, before we start entering information, let me show you that up here on top, you can see that there's the client log, send email, and the client inquiry. They're all grayed out right now, so you can't actually click on them. They won't take you anywhere, they won't do anything. That's because we haven't chosen a client yet. And once we do choose a client, you'll see that those will become available to you. You'll also have the clear data icon, and if you hover over this icon here, you get the keyboard shortcuts, or hotkeys as we call them. For example, if you hit Alt-E, it expands or collapses all. Alt-A will select all invoices, etc. You can always come back up here to check out these hotkeys to jog your memory. Using these can be very helpful if taking care of payments is something you do often. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So the first field you see is the date field. By default, it's set to today, but maybe today's Monday and you received this payment last week. But you just got swamped and haven't been able to apply it until today. So you can change the date here if you want to. You could put it back on the 7th or whatever day you choose in here. Next, you would select your client. Which client's account are you applying this payment to? I'm going to go with my client, Cottonwood Industries. You can see as soon as I choose them, we get their invoice and finance charge amount down here. And like I said, now I can click to check out the client log. I can send an email to the client. I can see their client inquiry, all right from in here. Next, we need to input the amount. So whether it's a payment, prepayment, or an adjustment write-off, you'll need to put an amount in here. You'll see as soon as I put in an amount, so let's just go ahead and let's do $1,000. As soon as I put an amount, the amount to attach field copied it. Type, is it a payment or prepayment? That would also be put in as a payment. Or is it an adjustment or write-off? You make that choice there. We're going to leave ours as payment. The account is your bank account. This should be set up over here. If you come to Tools, where you see Firm Properties, right here, inside of there is an area where you will input your bank accounts. And then you would choose it here. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose the top one. Method. This is a method of payment. You can see I have a bunch of different ones in here. I have cash, I have check, I have MasterCard, Visa, etc., Stripe. You're also given the icons to add a method if one is missing that you need. You can edit the ones that are in there, and you can delete any of the methods that you're no longer using. And you have a description field here. If a client is paying by check, you'll definitely want to type the check number in here. And when it comes to adjustments, you're probably going to want to put the reason for the write-off. It's a good idea to type that in here. The description field is completely optional. You don't have to use it. But let me show you something that's really cool. If you've entered billing notes for this client, so like a heads up, for example, if I change my client, I'm just going to change this to Audio King for a second. You can see that right here, billing notes showed up. It says, don't accept checks from this client. So either something happened with that client with a check and we don't want to accept checks anymore. Maybe the client told us not to accept checks anymore. They're going to start paying by credit card. Whatever the situation is, it's put here in the billing notes. You enter those billing notes by coming to your client on the client screen, hitting edit, go into the client properties. On the comments tab, right here where it says internal billing comments, you can see it's typed don't accept checks from this client. So that's how you get those billing notes to pop up here. If you don't see anything pop up here, that means you haven't inputted any kind of billing notes for this client. So I'm going to go back to Cottonwood Industries. That's who I was working with. There are no billing comments for this client. So you'll notice these fields down here. We have amount to attach, amount to detach, amount remaining. We'll get to these in just a little bit. And you're going to use some of these in other videos. For example, in the prepayments video, we'll use the amount to detach. So if we scroll down, you can see that we have invoices, finance charges, and unapplied payments. Those are the sections that we have down here below us. Right now we're looking in the list view. If you like the column view, you have that option there too, where everything is shown in column view. I like mine in list view. Right now, each of them is closed. I can open them up individually, like to see the 6 invoices that are in here, or the 3 finance charges. I can hit expand all if I want them all to just open up automatically for me like that. So let's go ahead and leave it and expand all for now. So again, looking at the invoices area, you can see that we have 6 invoices in here. Because I've expanded it, I can now see the details for each. I can see the invoice number, the date of the invoice, the description. Now this description is different from the description that you see up there. This is actually typed in either while you're creating an invoice. So if I were doing a quick bill for my client Audio King, you can see right here, there's the option to put a description in. So if there was something different about this invoice, something that I wanted to make sure I've notated, I can put that in here. Because invoice numbers don't always tell you a whole lot about the invoice. Maybe there was something special about this and I want to make sure I put it here in the description. You'll also see the description section in the client inquiry under the AR. If I scroll over the AR tab, you can add a description here, and the invoices tab. You can also do the same thing and add the description over here. As you can see, someone put one in here, new month bill. You'll also find that on the invoices screen. You can also add the description there. But back on our payment screen for Cottonwood Industries, that's the description column we were talking about. You can see a couple have been put in here. Then we have the invoice amount. You can see the total invoice amount and the invoice amount for each of the invoices. Then we have our prior payments. You can see a total of $12.50 has been paid so far. Current payments are 0 because we haven't started making a payment yet. And then we have the total unpaid amount, the overall unpaid amount, and the total unpaid for each invoice individually. If I scroll down, they also have 3 finance charges. And here's the information for those. You have the invoice number, all the same information. They have a total of $374.04 unpaid in finance charges, which brings their total AR to $12,224.04. They have nothing sitting in their unapplied payments area, which is just funds that haven't been applied to an invoice, like a prepayment. They have nothing in here. So I'm not going to go into detail on how to do a payment, prepayment, or adjustment because, as I mentioned earlier, there are videos here that explain each of those, and I'm sure you'd like to go straight to the process you need to accomplish instead of me stretching this video on even longer. They're all super easy. The regular payment's as easy as taking the amount that you want to attach, attaching it to what you want to pay, and hitting the attach button. But don't just accept that short explanation. Make sure you watch the payment video here to see exactly how to apply a payment. Watch prepayment to see what to do with prepayments. And if you need to adjust or write something off, this video will explain that to you. Thank you so much for watching.